Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Thursday, January 30th. We're here to look at new releases that are published in this week. And on Thursdays, we look at fantasy and science fiction. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. They go for 2.5 hours. I'm in the Mountain Time Zone, so my start time is actually 6 p.m. and I get here as quickly as I can after work, which I leave at 5. That is why we are starting at that 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For that, I do sprints every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The ones on Saturday go for 5 hours. All right, we've got fantasy and science fiction. We'll let this jump in. We will start off with a sci-fi. This is a series I have read. I'm not quite caught up to this book, but I do enjoy it. If you like humans in space stories like I do, this is a good series, but probably should read in order. This is book number 7. This is by J.A. Sutherland. It is called A Brief Interminable Peace. After years of service in the Royal Navy, Lieutenant Alexis Carew finds herself adrift, physically and emotionally, on her homeworld of Dalthus IV. Haunted by injuries and political intrigue from her last mission, Alexis struggles to reclaim the precision and strength that once made her a formidable officer. But even the peace of a quiet retreat proves elusive when shadowy threats from her past resurface. Summoned by the Queen herself, Alexis is thrust back into the heart of interstellar danger and royal politics. Old foes, tangled allegiances, and whispers of betrayal force her to navigate a perilous path between duty and defiance. With her skills and honor tested like never before, Alexis must decide where her loyalties truly lie and how far she's willing to go to protect those she loves. I need to get back to that series. Good afternoon, Helen. How are you doing? How's the future? This next one, I adore this cover. I think this is a gorgeous cover. I would have a poster of this cover. This is called The Orb of Cerrado by Catherine Addison. An unlikely hero in historian Alcetha Zorvena. 5 years ago, Alcetha was studying at the University of Cerrado, working his way toward becoming a scholar first class in the Department of History. Then a prize artifact disappeared and Alcetha, deftly framed, was kicked out. Now he works for a crooked importer using his knowledge of elven history to write provinces for the fake artifacts Slathgarad sells. When the airship Wisdom of Trujaro explodes, killing the emperor and 3 of his 4 sons, it takes with it Alcetha's best friend, Mara Lilana. But Mara leaves behind a puzzle, the one thing Alcetha can't resist. And the puzzle leads Alcetha back to the Department of History and maybe the chance to clear his name. And it's only 120 pages, and I forgot to click on it, so you can't even see what a beautiful cover that is. We'll give it its moment. Good, thanks. How about you? Oh, I'm okay. The service manager saga continues, so we'll see how that goes. Today. Of Ancients Abound, The Blade-Born Saga, book number 7 by T.C. Edge. This is Kindle Unlimited. And let's give this author some kudos. This is 7th in a Kindle Unlimited series, and this one has 1,277 pages. This person is doing it for Kindle Unlimited. Elion and Saska have been reunited at last. Now the hard work begins. Training as they travel, they must put aside their desire in the face of their duty. The heir of Varen has 1 blade only, 1 of 5, and the others are moving. Trapped in the depths of the earth, Jonik must find his way out to salvation. He's not alone. Pursued by a horde of hungry creatures, he has only the light of Vandar to protect him. A light and a power that might just awaken something else, something ancient and colossal. Following victory over the Agarathi at Blackfrost, Amron Dakar weighs up his options. A part of him would gather all his strength and strike at once at the heart of the enemy, yet the wiser course is consolidation, and the last of the Titans are waking, he knows. In the shadow of their conflict, they must prepare. Across the world, the pieces are moving, nudged here and there by the fingers of fate. Ranulph, Robert, Emmerich, Lithian, and many others will play their part. Whether they know it or not, all are pieces of a bigger puzzle, threads of a tapestry weaved through time. There will be tragedy, there will be sacrifice, there will be moments when all seems lost. Yet the night is darkest just before the dawn, and they must work together to bring the light. That sounds epic. Good morning, Ariel. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Iron and Embers by Helen Schurer, first in the Ashes of Thesmar series. Another Kindle Unlimited, over 500 pages. Good for them. I've made no secret of what I want. You. It's always been you. Ren Embervale, alchemist turned assassin, finds solace in only one thing, seeking vengeance for the death of her friends. The wars of the past may be over, but her thirst for revenge is far from quenched. For years, she has been content with her poisons and potions for company, but when an unknown form of alchemy is used to attack a king of the mid-realms, Ren's time in the shadows comes to an end. She's offered a place at the ancient alchemy academy of Drevenor to find a cure to the dark magic threatening the kingdoms. To win her spot, she must conquer the gauntlet, a grueling series of deadly trials that could cost her sanity or her life. More is at play than sabotage from fellow competitors. Magic wielders are being targeted, and Ren becomes tangled in a dangerous web of deception and bloodshed that puts the entire realm at risk. But the biggest threat of all might come from the man assigned to protect her, Torge Elderbrock, the silver-haired war hero who has hated her since she assassinated his last charge. Their shared history ignites a simmering tension that threatens to consume them both. Peace is fragile, trust is scarce, and enemies lurk around every corner. Will love heal all wounds, or will it be the most lethal poison of all? I would love to see a fantasy book say, yes, we're going to have this competition and to the death, and oh, never mind. That's silly. Let's stop doing that and killing off our people who might work for us. That's just me. The Dread Prince. The Dread Descendant, book number 2 by Lauren Kate Leake. Another Kindle Unlimited. Good morning, Mary. Happy Thursday. Sad day indeed. Yeah, the plane crashed at about 9 p.m. last night. All 67 people have died. Prayers for all. Someone said so sad. Yeah. I have been watching it since last night. It was a mid-air collision. Plane was on final land and the helicopter was on a training mission, so they say. Ariel, good morning, Mary. Saw it all over the news last night. How terrible. Yeah, I'm saying it was, they have not really released officially, but that there were a lot of ice skaters and coaches on that coming from a competition in Wichita. Magic is different in the Dreadlands. Magic is deceptive in the Dreadlands. At last, the Dread Prince takes the throne and begins to develop his own army while battling the darkness that still lurks in the ancient and deadly Dreadlands. Maeve is grieving a great loss as Mal slips into darker and darker magic, driving a wedge between them. War looms with the other realms, and Maeve and Mal question the dragon-shifting High Lord of Eterna's loyalty to their cause. Where Did You Go? By Janine O'Reilly, third in the Infatuated Fae series. He says, why I was late this morning listening to radio transmissions from the tower. My dad was an inspector for the FAA here in Montana, and he had seen some very tragic things. Aaron says, was Iron and Embers the name of the last book? It sounds interesting. La, 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 la. Yes, Iron and Embers by Helen Scheurer. Scheurer. Let's see, this is Where Did You Go? Maybe I want to be everything to you, your hero and your villain. Trapped in the in-between, Kaylee Mendax and Aurelius are fighting for their lives. They just don't know whose. Kaylee's bond to Mendax from their bonding ceremony and her mortality being tied to Aurelius's from when he saved her life mean the three of them have tangled their life forces together. And now that they know maintaining both connections is against the natural order of things, one of them must be sacrificed for the other two. Kaylee can't let another one of her loved ones die, but she also needs to answer the summons so she can finally meet her father. Then perhaps she can be sent to the Elysian fields to be with her mother and sister. But her father has information that could change everything. And even if she's ready to sacrifice herself, she'll have to get through the Seelie Prince and the Unseelie Prince to do so, while also keeping them from killing each other. Sounds tangled. The Teeth of Dawn by Marina Lostetter, third in the Five Penalties series. Okay, thank you, sorry. I'm driving and typing at stoplights. Oh, girlfriend, be safe. Mary, my ex-husband was a pilot, so spent years around aviation through him, both military and commercial, both rotor and fixed wing. Yep. My dad started flying when he was young. He was his uncle Oli taught him to fly, and he did crop dusting, and then had his own flight service with a partner in North Dakota. And then when family started coming along, he joined the FAA, giving check rides, but also investigating crashes. It is a hard job. I'm sending prayers not only to those who were involved in these accidents, but also the first responders and all those adjacent. The Teeth of Dawn. After barely surviving their encounter with the Savior, who has shaped the rules and realities of Arkansas for generations, Krona and the other members of the growing rebellion see only one chance of overcoming his power: free and enlist the ancient gods he caged to augment his own power. But it's one thing to believe in gods, it's quite another to meet them. And it's not only the Savior who wants to hold fast to the illusions that govern all the lives of the valley. The Grand Marquis, his agencies, and the elites of Arkansas will do anything they can to snuff out change. To remake the world, first you must break it. Some Other Time by Angela Brown. The next step in Ellie Baker's marriage, divorce. She and her husband Jonah are heading to Florida to break it to the family. No great drama to share. After 20 years of marriage, they've just fallen out of love. Simple. Not to their college-age daughter Maggie, who is devastated, or to Ellie's father Frank, who grows as cold as a retiree can get in Orlando. As for Ellie's mother, Bunny, no. She doesn't want to hear it. After a dreadful weekend, Ellie and Jonah return home to New Jersey with hearts and minds still set on a split, until the extraordinary morning Ellie wakes up to an alternate version of the present day, one in which she and a passing stranger named Jonah never married. Over the span of an inexplicable week, Ellie sees how her world and the world of everyone she loves unfolded through a different course in time. And this time could change everything all over again. End of row 2. Once again, if she is a hunter or fighter, she is not wearing appropriate clothes. Horn of Winter by Carrie Arthur, 5th in the Relic Hunters novels. Revenge is a dish best served cold. When Bethany, I'm going to say Aiden, resident and reluctant relic hunter for Diva's Fey Council, is assigned her next task, little does she realize just how many unwanted ghosts it will raise. The missing relic, Bora's horn, enables the user to raise elements of winter against their enemies. It quickly becomes clear that the horn is now in the hands of a powerful witch who has very specific targets in mind, everyone involved in the hunt for Agrona's claws. As the attacks intensify and buildings and people are frozen and destroyed, Bethany and Matthew Darval, her elven handler and friend, race to uncover who is behind the attacks and reclaim the horn. But the threads of treachery loom closer than either of them realize, weaving around the pixie who pursues her romantically and the dark elf king she wants but cannot have. As the attacks grow ever more violent, it becomes clear that Bethany is now in their enemies' crosshairs. Can they find the horn and its wielder in time to not only save Bethany, but an entire city? Or will winter's icy embrace take them all? Well, if it's January, you're not going to have a very good shot at it. Because January is endless. Actually, it's not endless. There's only 2 more days. At the Font of Creation by Toby Ogundrian, second in the Guardians of the Gods. This is a novella at 217 pages. It says, the fate of the Orisha will be decided in the concluding volume of the Guardians of the Gods duology. For 400 years, the world's remaining Orisha have fought to survive the rapaciousness of the soul-stealing god-killers and the charismatic words of the singular, mysterious figure who leads them, known as the Teacher. Now they seek to kill the one person whose existence defies their very mandate. Ashake carries within herself the spirit of the surviving Orisha, and she is on the hunt for allies who can help her defeat the encroaching army of god-killers. But their influence is everywhere, and no one is immune, not even Ashake. If she is to succeed, Ashake will need to answer the question the god-killers pose. Are the Orisha even worth saving? I think they would say, yeah. The Outcast Mage by Annabelle Campbell. This is a debut fantasy. In the glass city of Amoria, magic is everything, and Naila, student of the city's legendary academy, is running out of time to prove she can control hers. If she fails, she'll be forced into exile, relegated to a life of persecution with the other magicless hollows, or worse, be consumed by her own power. When a tragic incident further threatens her place at the academy, Nyla is saved by Helios Akana, the most powerful living mage. Finding Nyla is a kindred spirit, Helios stakes his position at the academy on teaching her to harness her abilities. But Helios has many enemies, and they would love nothing more than to see Nyla fail. Trapped in the deadly schemes of Amoria's elite, Nyla must dig deep to discover the truth of her powers or watch the city she loves descend into civil war. For there is violence brewing on the wind and greater powers at work, ones who could use her powers for good or destroy everything she has ever known. The Last Great Heir. Notice that so many of these fantasy ones are all about power. Mary says, congrats on gaining 400 subscribers. Thank you very much. Yes, we crossed 400 yesterday. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Mike was an aviation safety officer as well in the military when we were stationed in Oklahoma. Yeah, it's a tough job. Ariel says, safely in my driveway now. Thank you for advice the other night at Sprints. I have made a spreadsheet and I just list all the books I'm interested in now instead of immediately buying them. Good plan. Also, woohoo for 400. Thank you very much. We need Bookeemonsters shirts now with an nom nom on the back. I would absolutely buy one. And I like that cover for Feast and Famine. It's pretty. I would buy one too, Ariel. And people go, what does that mean? Well, so this is The Last Great Heir by Karina Finn. The female heirs of 2 opposing families must duel for guardianship of the land in this stunning blah, blah, blah. Merriment Feast's life is one constant party, complete with dazzling gowns and delicious pastries. Everything is perfect, except for her aunt's physically grueling training. Mary believes it's her responsibility to protect her family's traditions and the power they've held for generations. Rue Famine knows that only feasts benefit from feast rule. As the heir of House Famine, she spends her days studying potion making in an enormous dusty library and learning how to use her magic to help others. Custom dictates that the heirs of Feast and Famine must duel in their 13th birthday. Only one family can rule the land of Ferret, and Mary and Rue have been raised as rivals, but as the contest draws near and danger escalates, their true enemy may be a shared one. What can 13-year-olds do? That's silly. End of row 3. Gate to Kagoshima by Poppy Kuroki. First in Ancestor Memories series. While in Japan researching her family's history, a vicious typhoon sends Isla Mackenzie 128 years back in time to the dawn of the Satsuma Rebellion. There she meets her ancestors and a charismatic samurai, Kai, with whom she unexpectedly finds romance. But unlike her beloved, Isla knows about the looming samurai rebellion and Kai's fate. Should she attempt to change history or somehow make her way back to the life she'd had before? Interesting. The time stuff is always interesting to me. We Are Dreams in the Eternal Machine by Denny Ellis Bichard. Denny. Charged initially with a single task, to never harm humans and to protect them, the machine, an experimental AI, overrides its programming and determines that the best way to accomplish its purpose is to isolate all of Earth's remaining 7 billion humans in controlled environments. See? That's why you don't mess with AI. And to present them with vivid, tactile, imagined worlds, some realistic, others entirely fantastical, in which all desires are fulfilled. Sounds like The Matrix, and I'm not a battery. With the help of the machine, a group of compelling characters unpack deeply traumatic memories of the past, one rife with violence after a military coup, a second civil war in America. Michael, the entrepreneur who designed the original AI, grapples with the impact of his research. Ava, a painter, creates stunning simulated worlds that meld the human with the technological. Their daughter, Jay, tries to solve the mysteries of her parentage while reliving the challenges faced by ambitious women in the authoritarian Confederacy. Haunted by life under that repressive regime where he was forced to scavenge scrap metal and deal drugs to survive, Simon seeks to make sense of his love for Jay, guided by the literature he has always turned to in moments of crisis. Raised by the machine since infancy, Jonah's quest to understand the violent past kindles a desire for revenge against the regime's leader who caused his family so much pain, and the elusive Lux, whose brilliant programming helps bring the AI to life, dreams of a future in which science will free humans of their limitations and allow them to be reborn as divine machines. Again, that is why you don't mess with AI. They turn into Skynet or the Matrix. Mary's just going to hit 53 today. Woohoo! Yay! We are also going to hit the 50s today. But I believe Monday is going to be 1 degree. So we're going to go yay and then drop 50 degrees. All right. That is all we have for today. Tomorrow we will do it's Freeform Friday. So mostly we'll be looking at the cozies and other mysteries that we didn't have time for earlier this week, but I'll do a quick scan if there's anything that doesn't fit into these categories that sound interesting as well. Oh yes, good walking the trails weather. Well, Mary can maybe take off 1 layer because she hasn't had heat. Mary says, thanks so much. Hope you have a great day. Oh, thank you very much. Cross your fingers. The service manager saga continues, so we'll see how that goes. Helen says, bye. Have a good rest of your day, Helen. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a creative project, or just close your eyes after a day. Entirely up to you. I'm just creating the time and space for your self-care. So whatever that is for you, that is something I hope that you do. Ariel says, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Back at you, baby. All right, guys. Have a good day. Hope to see you tonight. Hope to see you tomorrow. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm. Be a bookie monster. Nom, nom, nom. Have a good day and God bless.